We're really bad at this, but we're gonna get better.
Welcome.
You go for it. Welcome back to Two Ambitious Blondes, who really have it together.
This is real life, y'all.
Real life. So we are here today, one of our local favorites, Spencer's Coffee. Big thank you to Spencer's for letting us set up here. It is a lovely day today, so we have set up out in our courtyard out back. And I'm drinking a really interesting drink. Actually, Chelsea got me on it. Chelsea, what do we have today? She's got the cold version, I got the hot.
I'm definitely an iced coffee person. We're having a lavender vanilla latte. Sarah, of course, had to get the sugar-free and almond milk stuff, which kind of goes with our two differences today for our health and wellness that we're going to talk about. Because I'm all calories, which I try to do good, but y'all, it's delicious though. It's really, really good. I'm sure hers is
really
fine
good.
too.
It is good. But I just choose, I don't do dairy a lot, so I do almond milk and the sugar-free vanilla. But it has lavender in it. Did you say lavender?
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
It's not something you would think about putting in coffee, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about kind of like health and wellness and like what we do and kind of a plus size woman's perspective on things. And I think there's like a lot of negative stereotypes and just like some, for lack of better words, wrong thinking about plus size women and like healthy eating and weight loss and fitness. So I guess we're coming here just to kind of talk about our lives and what we do for wellness. You know, not just talking about, you know, physical wellness, but also mental wellness. Chelsea, tell us about your weekly wellness.
So, like Sarah said, like it is kind of, I was one of those people that's like negative talk about me being plus size and, you know, trying to stay on top of being healthy. You know, you kind of do see out in the world like the negativity towards plus size women, and so like that's already really hard on me. And then I know I discussed in my blog post this week that I was diagnosed with PCOS, which has a big impact on my weight. It's extremely hard for me to lose weight with PCOS. It's just kind of something else going against me, which is really hard. But like I said in my blog post, I'm not using it as an excuse. It just makes it harder. It's the truth. So my husband and I kind of are building our home gym. It's not great by any means right now, but
it's pretty fabulous.
It works for us. So we work out probably, I would say, consistently 3 to 4 times a week. And I know like I am kind of working out to lose weight, but I work out to make my body feel better, because when I do something, my body automatically feels better. Not just laying around. The stress from work, it kind of lets me get that out. I've always been someone who loves to work out. Workout is it's not where I struggle. I love to work out. The eating is where I struggle the most. Because sometimes like in our busy jobs, for me, it's so easy to just be like, hey Brandon, I'm swinging by picking up some food on the way home. Like that's easy for me, and so it doesn't need to be. So we try to meal prep at the beginning of each week. We're not always consistent on it, but having him as a support kind of helps me a little bit. But I've had to tell myself not to look negatively at myself, and that's the hardest thing, because when you look in the mirror, it is hard to, you know, when I get out of the shower and I look at myself, I'm like, oh, I'm not happy with it a lot of the time, but I'm learning to love myself. But just my workouts to get all that stress off my body, to make me see that I'm doing something for myself, kind of helps me feel better about myself. It makes my body feel better. But the eating, I'm really bad at, and I don't do a great job. But one thing I've done better this year, and a lot of it has to do with Sarah, because Sarah has pushed me to look at myself in a more positive light, is like for mental wellness, is to not let stress bog me down. And I think that's what I work in a job that sometimes it can be my 40 hours a week, sometimes it could be 60 hours a week, and it can be stressful. And let me tell you, COVID has not made it easy on me at all. But like sometimes I was letting that stress just weigh down on me, and I wasn't doing anything for myself. So one thing I did was like open up to my husband about, you know, all the things going on in my life, and having a strong support system like my husband, like Sarah, like my family. Like, it's very important to have people that you can talk to get that stress off, because if you're super stressed, you're not going to have motivation to do a lot of things. And I think overly stressed people are not extremely healthy, because you develop unhealthy habits and things like that.
Cortisol level in your body is so high.
Yeah. So that was really helpful. And then also, this is my nerdy thing that's going to come out. I love to read. I love to read. So I had taken time to make sure that like I take time for myself, read a book, drink. I love hot tea, so I'll do a hot tea and a book. Or if it's nighttime, I'll drink a glass of wine, enjoy my book. And you know, I have to take time for myself, and I think that helps my mental well-being, because I take time to just escape from everything and just free my mind of that stress. And I'm not an expert by any means. This is just what I do to help my body and help me feel better about myself. And I think that now that I have that healthy balance of working out and stress relievers, like, it's really helped me feel better about myself, feel better about my body. And also, like, Sarah makes me dress up all the time.
I don't make her.
She makes me I feel good when I dress up, I get ready, like, I do feel better.
I'm not gonna lie, like, before we went live, I was like, I'm gonna need you to get your nails done. Like, I wish I could Zoom right now so you could see our nails.
Let me hide these for a minute.
Or just take it off. You didn't have to get them done, just take it off.
Y'all, I pick at my nails, okay? But really, like, getting dressed up, or not even dressed up, like, putting on clothes, doing my makeup, doing my hair, it helps my mental well-being. It makes my body feel good. I feel good about myself when I walk out the door in the morning. But I don't know, just, I think it's super important to have something that works for you. Don't overdo it either. And just because you are plus size does not mean that it gives you an excuse not to do anything. You have to want to.
It doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you can't. You have to want it. You have to want to create healthy habits in your life. And I'm not the healthiest person around. I'm not an expert by any means. I can always do better, but it takes small steps, and that's one thing. I can't go hard and overdo it for a week and then expect changes. It's something that you have to change your whole lifestyle. And like I said, I'm not an expert, but it's something that's working for me right now, and I'm in a very happy place. My body feels better, and it takes time. And like Sarah, her workout routine, her eating is a lot more it's a whole nother level, but she encourages me to do better and want to stay consistent with like the things that I'm doing. And just because like you don't go to a gym, work out at home. There's workouts you can do, find on YouTube, you can do anything. But don't make excuses. If you need extra help or push, let us know.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll be your accountability partners all day.
So I guess I'll tell you a little bit about what I do. I guess it was a couple years ago, I started noticing that my body just wasn't working the same way that it used to. I used to be a marathoner. I've run 2 full marathons, and I can't tell you how many half marathons I've run. Just been in the gym, in shape for a while, and then I noticed things just weren't working the way that they were supposed to. And I told you in my blog post last week that I've always been someone who's up and down on the scales. It's just me. But it's kind of like my efforts were being defeated, and I noticed I actually started gaining weight when I knew I was checking all the boxes, and I knew what worked for me. And I was getting super frustrated about it, and I wasn't really sure what was happening. Very frustrated. Even went to my doctor and was telling her about it, and she just didn't really have a lot of options for me. So I started doing some research and talking to some friends, and I met up with a trainer who specialized in women with metabolic resistance, and I think that's where I'm at. And it's caused by several things, or can be yo-yo dieting, up and down. That was me. Being on birth control, coming off birth control, and I'm in my mid-40s. I had some health issues last January that caused me to get off of birth control. So I think all of these things combined, plus my heavy stress level, has caused me to have issues with metabolic resistance. And honestly, I wasn't 100% sure that that was really me until recently, actually, because I've been working with a trainer for several months, and she told me things that were really hard for me to understand and to hear. Like, one of the first things she said is, like, Sarah, we're gonna take your workouts down. And I'm like, excuse me, what do you mean we're taking my workouts down? So, like, I'm a hardcore worker-outer. I'm jumping, I'm running, I'm lifting. Like, my body feels the pain when I'm done working out. But that's just always been the mode that I've gone. Like, even though I'm a plus-size woman, does not mean that I wouldn't given it 110%.
Sarah's a hard worker. Everything that she does, everything.
Well, and that's just that type A personality, and we're both guilty of that. And she's the same way. So she's totally. I hear stories of her poor husband and friends and the competitions. So don't let her fool you. But anyway, so she was telling me your workouts have to calm down, and I need you to eat more. And she's like, well, I need you to keep a diary of everything you're eating for the next 3 days. So I was like, oh, I already got that. I already have it down, everything I've eaten for the last, I don't know how long. And how many calories, And I just told her, I was like, I'm gaining weight for no reason. Like, I know what should be happening right now. And she's still telling me, I really think you're metabolic resistant. So we've been doing this thing where she's been like upping my calories, and it's really panicking to me, but I'm doing it. I'm listening to her. And she said, well, we're going to test your body. We're going to see if you're ready to start, cutting back and see if we kind of straighten your metabolism out, essentially. And she cut my calories and upped my workout a little bit. I started gaining weight again. Just a few pounds. And she said, that is just your body saying you're not ready. Your body still thinks that you're starving it and that it wants to hold on to all the extra food that you get. So it wasn't until that moment that I really believed in metabolic resistance. But, so I guess that's where I'm at. But my core, what I do, is still there. I'm very religious, and I have a blog post coming up about, I'm type A people, okay? So I'm very religious about my workouts. I work out 4 days a week. Sometimes 5, depending on what my trainer wants me to do. I also meal prep. Sundays are for meal prep in my house. So I make all my food. I eat 5 times a day. I make all those meals, with the exception of breakfast. I usually make that when I get up in the morning.
And she has alarms that go off all day at school.
Yeah, and I have that in my blog post. That and Chelsea's not lying when she says we are busy at work. Like, some days are slower, but then some days it's like you don't even get in the building before there's an emergency or something that's calling your attention. And then you look up and it's like 2 o'clock, and you're like, oh, well, I ate at 4 a.m. this morning and I haven't eaten since. So I literally have alarms on my phone to remind me to eat. And some days I really and truly need them, and some days I don't, because it's slower. But another big thing, I meal prep, and my workouts are priority. My workouts are they're embossed in my calendar. Like, they don't move. It's a priority for me. I always get them in. Meal prepping is a priority for me. I cook a ton of food on Sunday. I get all my meals done. And I cook a lot ahead of time, or at least prep things for my family too. I may not always do the cooking, but I'll have something prepared for them as well. Sometimes my husband's on his own, and then it's just me and my girl to have our food prepped. But it's whatever's going to work for us that week. I'm a big believer in planning ahead. As far as another piece that I'm really trying to work on is my stress level. When you're a type A, you're just on all the time. And if you're type A, you know what I'm talking about here. Like, you're very schedule oriented. You're very controlling. Like everything's got a place, and every place has a thing. You know, you're just on it, and that causes a lot of stress. And one of the issues I'm dealing with is I'm just soaking in cortisol. So I've got to get it down. So I've really been trying to do a better job at some deep breathing exercises. You know, I teach those to our kids at school, but then I'm trying to walk the walk and talk the talk. And
It's
do
hard
those.
sometimes.
It is. It's like fitting it in.
I want to make sure their mental well-being's taken care of, but then like I teach
The
it,
heck
and I'm
with
like,
mine.
what am I doing?
The heck of my mental well-being. You know, I'm drinking coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What am I thinking? But it's combining all things, and like the message that I really want to get, you don't have to do what Chelsea and I do, but it's just not wherever you are. If you're a petite, mid-size, plus size, like just take care of your own wellness. And it's not about being perfect, but it's about taking steps to be better and to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You know, neither one, Chelsea and I, are in the place that we want to be right now, but we're taking the steps to get there. And I think that's the most important thing. And you can't be ashamed of how you look, you know, and to let that keep you from getting out there and getting well. You know, walk, run, go to the gym. You be you, and don't worry about anybody else.
Get you a partner to do it with. That's what I had to do. Like my husband and one of our really good friends, we work out together, and I know when it hits 5 o'clock, we're working out together, and that's our thing.
Ooh,
like
5 o'clock, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
girl.
But we have to be on schedule. Like you have to have someone to keep you accountable, because it's so easy to get home and be like, not today, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And don't push it off. But I also want to say, like, do not compare yourself to other people. I know it's hard, because let me say, I was super ashamed of the way that I looked for a long time, just because, like, when I was growing up, I was in sports year round. I worked out 3 to 5 times a day. Like, I was very extreme growing up. And so it was hard for me to gain this weight and then be like, I gotta cover it up with bulky t-shirts, never wear anything form-fitting. Like, I was very ashamed of myself, and it wasn't until recently that I became comfortable with how I look now. And when I say comfortable, I don't mean I'm happy with it. I mean that
Accepting.
I'm accepting the way that I look now. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop working. It just means that, like, I'm gonna rock the body I'm in today, and then I'm gonna keep working on that.
Yeah.
And another thing is, like, I work out with people that are size 0s, and I work out with people that are size 16. Like, and y'all can do the same workouts. You can work out together. You can work out just as hard as each other. And your bodies may do different things. Like, the size 0 may stay the same weight, and you may lose weight, or, you know, vice versa. You don't know. Just don't compare yourself to other people. I think that's the most important thing. And to accept the body that you're in right now, but you're always a work in progress. You'll always be a work in progress, no matter what.
So I hope that you've been able to grab a few things from this today. If anything else, I just want you to practice on and think about your wellness and what you can do to be a better you, and not let anything mental or physical hold you back. That you get out there and just be the best you can be.
And we love you, and we're here as your accountability partners if you need us. And we love you. We love your bodies.
All right. I'm very proud of us. And watch this, guys. I'm using my watch looking on my phone. Like,
We're getting better.
better. And just one more thing before I go. I know you can't see this, and I definitely can't show you, but I wish you could see, like, how the camera is held up right now. Like, this is real life, guys. So I have you on a ring light, which is in the mulch bed here at Spencer's. Well, the mulch bed is obviously not level enough for the tripod to sit on. So I have a cord that goes to the ring light, so you can plug in the actual ring, wrapped around a tree, holding the ring light up. So I just think that you have to know these things. Like, this is real life, people.
And y'all, this is not edited. We get people asking us all the time, like, how do you edit your videos like that? It's it's one take.
Girl, we ain't figured that out yet.
We're real life for y'all.
There's no editing. Although we did edit a little bit on the first one, just because I hadn't figured out how to do this yet. And so you didn't see me when we were at Nova Delce, like hitting the play button, running around, not being able to get into my seat because it was pushed too far back against the table. We cut that one out. But anyway, I just had to share that with you. All right, I'm going to hit the button. Bye, guys.